What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate versus rants no hate. So look, I'm gonna get into something a little deeper today. Okay, there's nothing going on in boxing right now. Okay, nothing. Just a bunch of guys saying, "I want this guy, I want that guy. This guy wouldn't last for me." Blah blah blah. A bunch of fantasy matchups and just to keep the whole boxing talk alive. Okay, I want to say something that I spoke about before. Okay, and to a certain extent. Okay, and this is not about an attack. This is just reality and some questions about what's going on. Okay, I'm looking at all of this violence. We know what happened to George Floyd. We saw the videos. We see numerous videos about the police brutality, the racism against us black folks, how we get mistreated and nothing happens. So when there are certain firings and certain disciplines that happen, it seems like it doesn't catch on globally in this country because black man gets killed. Oh, the cops were doing their job. He should have complied. It's okay. And the way I see it, a lot of people they kill someone and go home and feel proud. Probably high five. Probably sit and do a happy I just killed somebody dance and sleep well. They have no problem taking someone's life. Now, follow where I'm going, okay? Because this isn't a black versus white thing. This is a right versus wrong thing, okay? And me as a black man, I just had to sit down. Me and some brothers had to sit down with some police officers. This wasn't something that was designed. This was something that just happened. And we basically was letting them know about things that they don't understand, that we see that they don't see. Don't think you know everything because you wear a badge. Okay. But I have a question for a particular boxer because it basically makes me go back to what I said initially. Okay. Deontay Wilder. Brother said he went and got the costume made for Black History Month. He's, snapped on Radio Raheem, to this day. Right? He's so black people, we gotta do this black, right? When it's the spotlight's on him about a fight. If that's not the case, where is he right now? I mean, Floyd Mayweather, he says things I don't always agree with. It's not about that. You don't have to agree with everything I say and vice versa. But he says a lot of things that I'm like, Floyd, what the hell are you talking about? But Floyd is paying for George Floyd's funeral. Anthony Joshua, okay? He's not American. He's British, right? So remember when Wilder said it's us against them, talking about the war has just begun. The war. What war? It's no America versus Brits. It was you versus Tyson Fury. Anytime two fighters get into a ring, we know there's fighters that have a country behind them and their country is going for their countrymen, even if he ain't worth a shit. We know that. That's not for us as black people. When black people attack us, going, oh, and you sound like a sellout because no, because we don't make up excuses for a fighter for getting his ass whooped. Because we don't sit and hide behind bullshit. That's not showing black unity because we're being biased. That's just showing bias. We're telling them, hey, get your ass in the gym, learn how to fucking box, man. You gotta step your game up. People, they're on to that right hand bullshit. Okay? Reality. Anthony Joshua. He big ups Americans all the time. Anthony Joshua spoke about the George Floyd situation. The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's questioning Trump. Where are you? Huh? Drew Brees opened his mouth and made an ignorant comment. And it just goes to show you, you can be around people of different ethnicities for years and still don't understand their pain, their plight, their struggles. You understand? Because when you sit back and say, my grandparents did this and my grandfathers fought for this country's freedom, like, what are you trying to say? Only white people, or only because your two grandfathers, what, black folks wasn't out there risking their lives, dying in this same war you talking about? Now he came and made an apology, but even still, it just goes to show you. And like I don't even follow football anymore. It's been years now. I don't even follow football anymore. There's certain things, and I have my reasons for why I don't. But at the end of the day, even in that comment, okay, it's just like, you know what? It's just like if you in a, I don't even like to use the term interracial. People are people, right? But at the end of the day, it's just like if you're in an interracial relationship. You get mad at your wife, or vice versa. You nigger, you cracker, you spick, you chink, you guinea, you honky. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. So every time we get mad, we're going to go to racial slurs, or we're going to speak about what we don't know. And that's a problem that I see with a lot of people. They act as if they know more than what they do. They don't understand. And you know what? It's best to just shut up when you don't understand. We're not talking about one individual who see things a certain way. We're talking about a whole ethnicity of people being mistreated, being violated, being disrespected. But all you big mouths that run your mouth to defend a particular fighter and then want to call somebody a sellout because of you see the flaws in this guy and say, hey man, you got to correct this shit. You're not improving as a fighter. You're staying the same. It's actually getting worse for you. And that's being a sellout because you're speaking the truth. Because you speak the truth about the outcome of an ass whooping, right? Well, y'all can kick rocks and all that nonsense. We're grown ass people. I don't need people to make excuses for me for nothing. And I'm not going to make excuses for people. So at the end of the day, where's all of this to this day at now? See, and that's my point. When you have a fight coming up, when you have the spotlight on you, and it's about you, then it's me and my people. Where everybody's quiet as a mouse. The only thing I've heard from Deontay Wilder was that post about strong black man coming through with his motorcycle and all that. But where is he at now? Where's all these? Look, you have several people speaking out. Several people. Whether it's rappers, actors, whoever, several people. And let me tell you something. There's white people that's kneeling down. That's walking, that's marching. There's white people looting. There's everything that's going on. My thing is, I'm not advocating all of that, the looting part and whatever, but I'm saying at the same time I understand the struggles, man. And I understand why people are reacting the way that they are. For someone who don't, it's best to just keep your mouth shut and don't say anything because you don't know the struggle. You don't. You may have struggles of your own, but you don't. Okay? Because police are not pulling you, and the police are not pulling you over because of your skin color. I can show you hundreds of videos right here on YouTube alone that exposes all of these things. And people still make excuses and want to use the term racist because someone says anything. Look. Even though Drew Brees made his comment and whatever contributions he's made to other situations in the past, and for people that vouch for him that no, he's not showing racism in the past or whatever it may be, okay, whatever. Like I said, I don't follow football, and it's not even about that. It's just the simple fact he didn't have a problem with giving his opinion. He was answering a question, but he answered it the wrong way. And not only that, though, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have a reason to apologize. Okay? But at the end of the day, and maybe the way the video was the way, with everything going on, maybe people didn't know he was asked a question. But even still, it's like, bro, don't comment on something you don't understand. Because I remember a time when they was drafting black people to the war, and you know what happens if you dodge draft, you go to jail. And like I said, I remember certain people, that's a disgrace to not fight for this country. That's not, this is the greatest country. But then when they started recruiting these old white people, grandkids and sons, then it was, what's going on in this country? What's the country you're coming to? And it was like, oh, now Now all of a sudden it's a bad thing when it's your family. And I had to address a lot of situations with racism. I've been in situations many times, many times, where my voice was the only one being heard. And sometimes it takes years for somebody to come and say, man, I apologize for my behavior. I didn't see what you were saying at the time, but I do now, or whatever it may be. And my thing is right now, like I said, out of all of this going on and things being said, and you care about your people so much, you have nothing to actually say about any of this. At least, I mean, you made it public, to this day comment. You chewed out Radio Raheem. You made it clear that this was for Black History Month, right? We don't need costumes. We don't need bias. All we need is facts and reality. Show that heart, man. Steven Jackson is out there. There's other people that's out there. China Mac, he's out there. There's other people that's out there. And they're making their voices heard. They're part of what's going on. But now all this silence all of a sudden. And was my point when I made a video in the past about this. I said, there's no us versus them. It's two fighters. Now, if you want to say a fan base versus a fan base because you think this fighter is better than that fighter, or you want to see that fighter beat that fighter, whatever, okay. But when we start making this whole, like making it a race war, making it a race issue. Anthony Joshua's black. He's also British. Tyson Fury's British. He's white, but he's British. British people support their British fighters or whatever. It's one thing. You can say, okay, I support this guy because he's the same ethnicity as me. Me personally, I look at fighters and say, man, I like good fighters. I like to see good fighters. And I know that people do it all the time. Okay? But reality of what I'm saying is this. Even if that's the case, and it's like okay, well, he's the same nationality as me. But when you make excuses of the outcome, bitterness sets in, and you can't just be honest and say, hey, man, the guy lost. And we're all supposed to jump in and chime in and agree with that because why? Because what? Bias is bias, and it can be, dished out in different ways. And you know what? It's just like when you show up for a job interview, and then all of a sudden when the people see you, they tell you they're not hiring. Miss, I just talked to you on the phone, and you said that you guys were hiring, that you had 5 openings. That wasn't even 15 minutes ago. Now, not only is that bias, that's racist, right? So if they hire somebody that look like them, what are you saying now? So now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, man, I just, when I saw Anthony Joshua, and I'm like, wow. And then, like I said, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he spoke up. And I'm like, it made me think about Deontay. Like, yeah, where's Deontay now? There's no fight coming up, right? There's no little documentary. There's nothing that, where you're in the spotlight. And you have nothing to say. And all these big mouths and all these channels that run their mouth about the black, they quiet as none of them, nobody's addressing any of this shit. They're just sitting back running their mouth about who's a sellout and who's not, who's this, who's that. I don't hate no ethnicity of people. Now, if you're a racist piece of shit, I'll make it known to your face. If you do things the wrong way and you try to impose your will on people and you know that you're being wrong and unjust, yeah, well, why would I go with that? I will always support my black brothers and sisters. I support, my thing is this, okay? The same racist bullshit that's going on where I live and other cities, other states, we are all, as humans, there should not be just one race of people, one ethnicity of people fighting against racism. I spoke about this before. I just have another reason to kind of reiterate. That's all. When you look at when someone has something to say, like I said, when the spotlight's on them and then they get quiet when it's not about them, it looks real suspect to me. Like, what's your agenda, man? You had some kind of agenda. Because why are you so quiet now? Where's all this to this day now? And that's all we saying, because when it comes to the front line, and then all these people that had all this mouth at one time, where are they now? They're nowhere to be found. Sad part is, I doubt George Floyd's the last person that this is going to happen to. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. You never know. It could be you. It could be me. It could be. It's not going to stop just because there's people willing to die to fulfill their hatred. And when you see things like that happen, and cops don't get fired and incarcerated, like Tory Lanez made a point about if a nurse, okay, or a doctor did the same crime as a police officer, why is it that the doctor goes to jail but the police don't? Why is it that the police was doing his job? And he's right. He's right. There's many people that's saying, hey, several people. I mean, it's a small amount compared to the amount of people that if you look at the content that people post videos every day, all day, nobody says, I'm like, hey, you know what the hell with boxing right now? This is more important. But I'm making my point because, see, let's say when all this blows over, not that it will, not that it won't, because I doubt it's okay. We get the time passes, then something happens to somebody else. Same thing to somebody else. It's like history repeats itself. It's not going to just stop and it's all a peaceful, loving community worldwide. It's wishful thinking. But then all of a sudden now, the same people that's quiet now, when the spotlight is back on them, my black people, I've always, listen, people in general, who shows me love, that's who I show love. But I know there's no race of people on this earth that go through what us black people go through. And I will say that shit, and I dare any fucking body that shit. Don't come and tell me what happens in your country. I'm talking about in America. I'm not talking about what happens in the next country. I'm talking about right fucking here. I've been to many countries, and I cannot fucking tell you what goes on in this country on a day-to-day, that country, because I'm there on vacation, visiting. So I learn from listening to people. And this is why when people run their mouth like they know every goddamn thing, and they say the wrong things, and I look at them and I go, you know, here's a person talking about life like they know everything, like there's a blueprint to life. There's no blueprint, man. But I'm going to be honest with you, out of everything, forget talking about your king rising up like a phoenix from the ashes and the war's just begun and all that stupidness. Where are you at right now? Where are you at right now, bro? Why you have nothing to say about what's going on with George Floyd? I forget talking about it to your buddies or your family behind closed doors. Where are you at now? You said everything else in the opening. Anytime The Rock, a guy who you never hear getting social issues and you never hear him talking about how black folks are getting mistreated. Anytime The Rock can speak up and say something and you can't, I can give a shit about who's the greatest who's the greatest of all time, who's the greatest rapper of all time, who's the greatest fighter, who's the greatest. I can care less about any of that superficial bullshit, man. This right here is real. And all that to this day and blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, we know about your surgery that you're going to have. And you know what? I hope that you heal fully. I hope you have a speedy recovery. I hope your family's fine. I hope you're fine. And you know what, man? You show up to fight Fury in the third fight. I hope you're ready. And I hope that should you win that fight, you do the right thing for boxing. Fight AJ or whoever the champ is at other and unify the division. One face, one name. That's what you said, right? And this is not about an attack on you. This is about, well, you said something and we're holding you accountable to it. That's what this is. And that goes for anybody else. And then you guys wonder, like, why I have a respect for AJ higher than the rest of these guys. AJ does not bash people. He doesn't get on here and talk about people's families and say a bunch of ignorant shit out of his mouth. And he comes to fight. He gives props to his opponents, even when they bury him. And I wouldn't be as gracious as AJ. You got something negative to say about me, I give you both the middle fingers, man. But AJ is just like, hey, man, you know, he's a warrior. He's a great fighter. Wow. But you guys turn around and go, oh, but fuck AJ. AJ got his ass whooped. AJ this. Okay, well, whatever. That's not going to change what I'm saying. There's no harm because I give credit where it's due. You know, this is not like why would I don't want to see Deontay. I don't want to see necessarily see Deontay get his ass whooped. I don't think he's as good as his mouth is. As big as his mouth, I don't think he's. I don't. But and anybody that watches him that says, "Hey, Deontay, man, you got it. Hey, come on, man, get it together." I don't want to see him going there half-ass. No, I hope he's 100%. Life after boxing, I hope he can take care of his family. I wish all these fighters well. I don't want to see when Fury was going through his situation. AJ said, "I don't want to fight Fury now. I beat him now. What does that do for me?" And he's right. He's right. What does it do for you? AJ was asked would he fight Mike Tyson. He said, absolutely not. Why would he fight Mike Tyson now? What does he gain out of fighting Mike Tyson now? A 53-year-old Mike Tyson. And he said, I get booed out the building. He's right. You beat him, you're supposed to beat him. I doubt very seriously that Mike would beat him now. But if you lost, yeah. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation for AJ. Even though I think, come on, like, but no. You got a lot of people that, yeah, I'll fight Mike. Yeah, hell yeah. Why? Why? Fight the current guys right now that's going to boost you up the ladder. Beating a 53-year-old Mike Tyson does nothing except make people hate you more. And then it's like, okay, you beat a 53-year-old man. Now let's go see you beat these young guys out here. Why would you even want to fight Mike? But at the end of the day, you know, sports and things like that, man, it's a job for other people. It's entertainment for us. But when you start making things personal and you start throwing things in about race, you start, you know, making a bunch of personal statements and making things, you know, about more than just boxing, then you're putting yourself in a situation where now people are paying more attention to you, but not for the reason that they should. You're an athlete, you're a fighter. This is what we should be talking about. Not us against them, the war. No, what war, man? I got Brits in my family, man. I got Latinos in my family. I got people from Haiti in my family. I got Jamaicans in my family. I got Black Americans in my family. I got French in my family. So imagine us all sitting at a dinner table arguing, not getting along because my flag mean more to me than your flag mean. Fuck your flag. Fuck your no. I wasn't raised like that. So I don't hate anybody because of their nationality. I can dislike you or hate you because of the fucking scumbag that you are. But at the end of the day, no. Anyway, that's all I want to say on that. And I will catch y'all on the next video.